And we can just dance the night away until we get no more. Shake all the hurt away so you can feel and forget who you used to be. For just tonight, could you just dance the night away?
Seers who willingly gave their lives, let's say. Its function was to control the seneschals. Perhaps you saw the chain-like magic affect them, yes? That influenced the seneschals to protect Castora. This is my theory, anyway. I've yet to run it by Isgarin. I've noticed he is often not forthcoming with such details. Whether that's because he is secretive by nature or simply hiding his ignorance, I couldn't say.
Might just be more cautious about what information he's giving out.
Yes. And no. I think so. The All-Seer had to be defeated, from my understanding of the curse. Whether the Seneschals being freed was a requirement or a side effect is a question we might never know the answer to. I, for one, am pleased to see them freed. They are friendly, but still quite protective of this land. I can see why, in desperation, the Seers use them as guardians in their absence.
Okay. Also, by the way, I love that I can see his tippy toes under the platforms because the platforms are like floating, but it looks so funny. Look at the little tippy tappies. Okay. Saved the best for last. Well, hold, there's another one over there, isn't there? Who else? Who else do I have? I wanted to save the boss for last. Also, what is the green circle? We'll do that later. I wanna chit chat with everybody. I like hearing their chit chatting conversations about things. I like to hear what they have to say about everything and what they're thinking. Who's in here? Oh, it's you, Westguard. Hey, what's up?
Commander, you and your people been awful busy, haven't you? Hounding inquest, breaking curses, freeing monsters?
Osborne, Keela is not a monster. I won't hear it.
You even got Westergaard here turning into a regular Wavehawk Pete the way she's taken to that crab.
I'm warning you, Mayor. Don't think I won't toss you right into the bay like I wanted to with the commander here.
I'm with her on this. That isn't an animal or monster. It's a big, squishy crab. How dare you be mean to it? I don't know what you. Well, let's see. I was gonna call it a leviathan, but I don't know if you would count a land thing a leviathan or not in this world. Okay, well, there's gonna be a change. Isn't gonna change, isn't it? Not sure if we ought to thank you or blame you. Bit of both, huh? I can see you've got something on your mind. What you got on?
For better or worse, yeah. Mostly better, I have to think. But it's gonna be a huge change for Hullgarden. Without the fog and the storms, we could have a real trade route. I'll have to talk to your Captain Saida about that. How do you like the sound of Port Hullgarden? Your people tell us this will make waypoint construction simpler too. Survival here is about to get a lot easier. Whether we can hang on to what makes Hullgarden Hullgarden, that remains to be seen.
I do agree that the trade route's good for you, and I do agree that the waypoint idea sounds cool.
I was itching to slay both of those beasts. I was wrong about them. I'm not too big to admit that. The Seers chose them for a reason. Noble creatures, fierce. And I think they care about this land. More than us, maybe. Now that they're free from Seer control, I think we can work together. Tend to the land. Protect it. Pete called it symbiosis, I think. Pete says a lot of things. He's cute.
Okay. I'm glad to see that you're enjoying yourself.
That depends on whether the Inquest are leaving Castora. If they are, guess I'll be tending to Keela and Gwillian. But if the Inquest think they're staying here, well, you might not be able to get rid of me just yet.
Oh, I've been gone long enough, and I've got a feeling there's gonna be a lot more Marin that'll need doing now. Tell Saida I could use her advice about that port idea. Here she's getting into politics, too. Plenty to discuss.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, talk to Ascarin next. I do love this one. She is such a cutie. Such a cutie. And obviously I like the Forest Guardian now, or Glenna now, that it's not corrupted. I like its little tree, like little antennae. Look at that. It's got like the little like cherry blossoms on it. It's very cute. But it does feel weird that there's only 2 of them when it feels like there should be 4 of them. You know what I mean? Like I said, it looks odd and unbalanced. But maybe it's just me.
My mind clears. Finally.
There are the trying times. These are trying times. But all is not lost. My purse is broken. My power returns along with several newfound perspectives, and I am grateful, Wayfinder.
No, but I expect it will not be long. Again, I offer my thanks. Since landing on Castora, I've felt increasingly out of sorts. Being forced to rely on all of you without access to all of my power, I've felt almost helpless. Mortal, I suppose. It is a disturbing feeling. Yet perhaps it has also provided me with some overdue perspective.
Fair.
He has proven his sincerity, as well as his dedication to his beliefs. He has witnessed the full depth and breadth of the obstacles that plague existence in Tyria and beyond. And he has the unshakable conviction that what he does is for the greater good. There are few things I truly fear. I fear what will remain of Tyria if Lox succeeds.
Okay.
We must glean all the information available. If we cannot track Vlox himself, we must keep a close watch on Kuda. We must know what the Inquest knows, what the Council knows. We must leave no stone unturned. And if we are still unable to predict his movements, we must react swiftly. We cannot afford to lose another chase.
This is fair. I saved him for last because I wanted to know what he had to say the most. Okay. Alright, there's that. I don't know what is to be expected of us now. Oh, this area is very pretty. Let's go ahead and get this visa while we're in here. Why? I have the ability to do so. I don't know if this visa's on the outside or inside. It's very pretty. I like the dome and everything. It's very pretty and like the setup and everything. Okay, we'll see. Might be all that's available right now, story-wise. Yeah. Okay, so we got all the way up from 9 to 13. That's cool. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the dot here. Alright, so now that we've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and see about doing the map completions. Let's see. We have some points over here to grab. Some down here. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do some more map completion stuff. I don't see any bits that we need the hearts for, but that doesn't mean that won't come in later. And why that's true, like I said, the reason I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to do map completions before, I didn't get too far. Hold up. Let me see. I'm facing the wrong direction. I am not facing the wrong direction. That's weird. I wanted to wait to do map completion until after we had done the story and stuff, because I wasn't sure if the hearts were tied into it, and I mentioned to Annie at the beginning when I was chatting with her off stream and stuff. But and the thing is, if we do it now, the hearts will theoretically I think they're redoable. I don't know. Actually, I'm looking at them now. They're not redoable, so I guess it wouldn't matter. They'd probably be tied to events more than anything. So it's not a big deal. But that's okay. And I probably should just get on my mount. This will be faster if I just do that. This area is very pretty though. Okay, so we got that. There are also some masteries I need to get as well. I think there's like a few points. I think there's 2 for sure that I remember seeing. I back up a little bit. Okay, so let's see here. We've got a point of mastery over here. I think we've got all of the mid stuff done. So yeah, let's go over here and see about getting this stuff done. Hearts here as well. If this all works out, then it's great, because then we can get a lot of work done. There's a heart here. Okay, it's this heart. Okay, I was like, there's a heart here, but I don't know where it's supposed to be because I don't know how far it is on the map. I do feel like having good intentions is one thing, but you have to decide the consequences of being good. A good example, right? Something that my teacher talked about one time, we were having a discussion about in class, about the idea of good intentions sometimes don't mean that you're going to get a good result. We were talking, she said as an example, because we were in high school, so she gave us an example we understood. She goes, if your friend is dating a toxic person, you could be encouraging in regards to being like, giving them ideas on how to fix everything. But when is it a good idea to tell your friend to put their foot down and break up, right? When do you put a hard pass on it? Like, that kind of thing. Because, you know, no one likes breaking up everything like that. But she goes, but you gotta know when, she goes, you gotta know when to hold your hand and when to speak your voice out. Or when to speak out about things and whatnot. Juggling the good and the bad with things. Because, and like as somebody who's had to give advice when I was in school and stuff with people, it is hard sometimes to tell your friend, break up with that person. I know you love them, or I know you like them, I know you care about them, but they're not good for you because they're not doing XYZ thing, or you're not doing XYZ thing too, because sometimes my friends have been the bad partner, you know? As much as you would love to believe that your best friends are always going to be the best people, they don't always make the best decisions, and that includes me in that mix, right? It's not saying that, you know, I'm not that I'm also not infallible. There's the right word I'm looking for, right? I am. But you have to be self-aware, and you got to work. And if you can't be self-aware, you got to know when to ask other people to be aware for you. Because sometimes you are blind to your own actions. Sometimes I have turned to my husband a few times and been like, hey, was that too harsh of me what I just said to you? And he'll tell me if it was or wasn't, because sometimes I'll say something and I don't mean in a harsh way, but I'll just say it outright. Like, he may have offered me a snack and I may have said no. but I may have said no in a much more nastier way than I would have liked, meaning like I might have been like, no, I don't want that, instead of saying no, thank you, you know. So I might ask him, was I too harsh? And then he sometimes said, yeah, that was a little harsh, but I know you didn't mean it like that. Or he could say, or sometimes he'll say that no, it was fine. He understood that I was distracted and doing something else, right? You have to be able to do that, and people have to keep you in checks and balances and stuff. But sometimes you have to be harsh with people and be like, yeah, that hurt my feelings. That was wrong. Or, no, I don't agree with that. You can't be doing that, right? And it's hard to know when to push and when to pull on a situation. And especially with the story where they aren't just pushing and pulling in basic little disagreements. This is pushing and pulling in a situation where people's lives are on the line. There are people that could die from the situation, you know? And that kind of situation. So it's a lot harder when you got more people involved and more things at stake. There is more at risk of going wrong if he does change the wrong thing. And I agree with this incident about the fact that if you change one thing, you change a lot more than just it. You end up changing way more than that. Because it does. You change one little facet of it, and it changes everything. And you can even bring that into a smaller scale, for instance. One thing that I was telling a friend about one time, I was telling her about some of the self-improvements that I was doing on myself. Nothing crazy. It was just like things like being more honest, paying more attention to when I get overstimulated or where I'm not at my full capacity. It's really hard to like catch those things, but it's important to catch those things because then you can act in a more civil, balanced manner, right? But I mentioned these things, and she said those are such pitiful things to work on. Or piddly things to work on. She goes, those are such pitiful things to work on. And I said, it starts small and it gets bigger. And I did. I worked on the tiny things, and I get better. I do not like these holes, by the way. These give me like flashbacks to the chalk tunnels, and I am not a fan. I'm stressing out inside this tunnel. It's like, I don't like this. This is not cool. But as I was trying to like get to the point of is that things start small. What seems like a small decision becomes so much more so quickly. I was debating whether I want to teleport over here or if I just want to walk over here. I'm probably just going to walk over here. I'm going to walk towards the pink tag. Like, there is and like one of the other things I had started that was very small involving my own personality was being honest about when I'm overstimulated, right? Because I didn't like being a burden when I was a teenager, obviously. No one likes being that way. No one likes feeling that way. And I thought me stating, hey, no, can we chill? Can we put the brakes on this right now? I need a moment. I used to think that made me needy and made me in the wrong. As I gotten older, it's very important to communicate what you think and feel, and why it seems like nothing is a huge, big difference, and it changed a lot of my stress levels on, like, communicating with people and getting around and being open with people. I found people were more open to me in the sense of, like, being like, yeah, okay, I can give you a moment, no big deal, right? It was cool. It's very nice. Small things. But those small things change a big part of you as a person. Now, if you took that and scaled it up to the state of this, where they're changing an entire continent, an entire world, then you start seeing how dangerous a little thing can be, right? A little change can be a big difference in the long run because it all cascades, right? Because getting rid of my inability to communicate healthily what I'm thinking or feeling at the time seems like nothing on paper. But then you start realizing that it starts changing my stress levels, starts changing how I communicate, how I talk with people, how I treat people, right? And then it starts getting more and more like that. And if you start doing the same thing, right? For instance, if the queen of humans wasn't, Jenna right now, if she wasn't the queen, who would be? Would they be a good candidate? Would they live long enough to be a good candidate? Because they could be a good candidate and just die early. She's lived a long time. She's went through a lot. What about the Char? All right. If Vanguard hadn't went off the deep end, would they have the new leader they have now? Would she be the one in power? If if the king of the Canthons, or the emperor specifically, since it's an emperor situation, if he hadn't had daughters and had sons, then what? You know, would this all have cascaded differently? And I think that changing one thing would have changed everything. Because if you think about it in stories, and I think in history, all things cascade. They all are dependent on the different components that make them. Good, bad, for better or worse. That's how the world and people in it are shaped. That doesn't mean that that change shouldn't happen. It should. But change should happen in the present moment or in future goals. That you can't make everything, you can't fix it. It's kind of like a wrinkled shirt in that regard. You can't get all the wrinkles out in one roll, in one swipe. You have to do it slowly, steadily, until the shirt is straight, right? Even if you did it with modern technology, with like throwing a shirt and a towel into a dryer in order to straighten it out. My mom used to do that in a hurry. You still need to wait for the dryer to be done for it to straighten the shirt out. All things take time and effort to make happen. Even things that are automatically happening in the world. So I do think that this is going to be an interesting power play in the regard, because it's either going to be really good in the long run, or it's going to be a nightmare going in. Because, you know, and also then it's very hubris of him to believe that he has, or maybe it's arrogant of him to believe that he is the change, and that him changing this one thing makes all those things go away. You know, I always found that kind of interesting in stories when they're like, oh, if I just get rid of this one person, we'll be free of this plague. But it's normally not that. There's the catalyst for a bigger problem that already exists. And I like this area. This area is cool. This bad person is a catalyst that just started the fire. They are the match that lit the fire. But the kindling was already there. Oh, hi. What are you doing here? Wait, friend, this is a fantastic place. These creatures, I've been watching over for them for hours now. I suspect they're drawn to the magic in here, but they don't have to compare with predators. They feast on them. It's a feast all for them. Yeah, okay. What is this place? It's sort of a cellar. Looks like the two in the back seem to be guarding something. They're a little territorial, but maybe if you present them with magic. Oh, so if we offer them stuff. Certainly, they're the party mode version of us, to us. Okay. I'm just curious, so you could do this as a team, I guess. Or you can do this alone. I was trying to get up there, but it's not wanting to cooperate. There we go. So yeah, so we need to offer all of the spheres. Look at the moths! Oh, the moths are drawn to the light. That's cute. That's adorable. Okay. I don't like the sphere jumping, but the big spheres are not the problem. It's the little spheres that bother me. I don't know. I don't know what this is gonna do, if I have to teleport back or not. If I have to do it all again. Okay. It's fine. Look at them! They're so cute. They make... they like the lamp. That's what it is. It's moths to the lamp. I love it. It's so adorable. They have names. I can feed them? I've brought you food. Oh, I brought you more snackies. You big fat buddies. Oh, they're so cute. I love it. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, that is a cool jumping puzzle. I like that. I like the idea that you can jump through a bunch of lights and water to try and feed the moths at the end to get like gifts and things. That's so cute. I love it. It's adorable. Okay, we're gonna go back here, and how are we doing on points of interest? I still got more to do. We got one here. We got two that we need to find. Sorry, I'm gonna do this. I see one here. Okay, so yeah, there's two here. Okay, cool. So, got that, got the V's, got the waypoint, and there's 2 hearts to do. Okay, so cool, we're almost done. Let's get some mastery point, though, that's over here. So we're almost done with the map. I love those skins so much, they're so pretty. I agree, they're very pretty. Here's the thing, that moth butterfly, or the moth sky scale skin, it is the coolest, one of the cooler ones I agree with. I want it too. Because it's adorable, but also I've seen some amazing dye colorings of people doing it. Like I've seen pinks. I saw someone. Okay, you know that moth that's like really cute that everyone sees on the internet that's yellow, white, and pink. I have seen a player who had that color scheme for their sky scale. It was the cutest thing ever. If I had the ability to scrunch up a sky scale's face like you would an adorable dog, I would have done it. I'm just saying, it was the cutest thing ever. Also, I'm grateful that there's not that many underwater points of interests in this map because, because like as cool as it is, it's also probably better that it's not. Because a lot of people don't like diving. They don't like the diving aspect of the game, and I get it. And I won't lie, getting my skimmer the ability to dive underwater was definitely like a what do they call it? A fever dream. Definitely a fever dream. Okay, so I was checking to see if there was a hole in the top of that. I'm gonna see if there's a little gate down here somewhere, a hole in the cave, because I'm either gonna go up it or below it. This is gonna be an interesting situation. Let's see. Sorry, I was looking to see if there's like a hidden stuff here with the wall and the plants and everything. There's several water passageways that are covered and hidden that way. So I was just trying to see if there was a gate in here, a little cavern spot hidden. Also, there's an otter as a new ranger pet. I don't know how I feel about that. It's okay. I kind of would have liked other things, in my opinion. I would have liked any of the other, like, drakes in the area. But I haven't used that skill, so it probably... Honestly, though, let's be real. Okay, I kind of would have liked one of these as a pet, but it's probably a good thing that we did get a otter, only because of more underwater variety. Because rangers have a very small list of underwater pets, and it's kind of useful to have more than that. What's this? You can interact with something. I wonder if there's a teleport, I was wondering. Yeah, there is. Okay. Do I have to beat him up to do that? Twist the knife? What happened? Talk to the lieutenant after defeating him in the story. A bold strategy. I wasn't doing that to be nasty, but now that you've mentioned it, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I don't know how to get in there to it. It's down in that room down there. Hold up. I wonder if it isn't the teleporter up there, which it could be.
And we can